Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Gamelitical Correct podcast. It's been a week. It's been a week. We have a lot of news. None of the news that we've had recently any of them seem good news, right?
No,
Like,
no.
like
But at
most
least
of
we
them are.
haven't heard anything about layoffs because at the moment what it happens, I think it's like Sony waiting Xbox to drop the bomb and Xbox waiting Sony to drop the bomb and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
they just delay it.
yeah. They don't want to be the first one. Yeah, they
Yeah,
both
yeah.
they both don't want to be the first one. Definitely.
Definitely no.
So, uh, the industry at the moment seems quite problematic, don't you think?
Definitely, man. Like I just like write some of my thoughts like the last few days, I just want to speak about it, you know what I mean?
Mm.
I think the main problem of the gaming industry at the moment is that when it sees something that is working, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
And instead of understanding why this system works, it takes the idea to the absolute extreme. One of the few
Yep.
examples that I can give you is like players buy more games digitally. Like the last stats that we have is like 90% of people they, buying digitally over like the 10%. Fine. The gaming
Yeah.
industry will say, fine, let's kill physical ownership completely. Fortnite makes billions. Fine. Let's turn every game into a live service game, you know, to consume your whole life. And now we have Rockstar make GTA. The industry will say, fine, let's sink another like hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars to become Rockstar. Correction. Try to become Rockstar. And somehow, I know it's funny because I don't understand it, but somehow, every single time, these companies never learn.
Yeah.
What's your take
Hundred
on that?
percent. 100%. They seem to never learn. Uh, they never learn actually from the mistakes and the things they do right. And it's like a double-sided knife. They just win at some things, and they just cannot seem to win again on the same things, and they don't learn from mistakes. Not all of them, not the whole industry, but most of the industry that like have a big hit, and they don't seem to understand why the hit was a hit, and the next time they seem to be flopping, and
Yeah,
that's the kind of way we've learned in the past like 10 years. That's what we see almost every time, and it's disheartening to say the least. It's disheartening. Don't even get me started on
yeah,
physical ownership, man. We need to talk about it anyways, because it's one of
we will.
the it's one of the news that we have for this episode, and it's so disheartening because we, physical ownership is probably the last thing we
Yeah,
had for permanent ownership. You know what I mean?
definitely, definitely. But I would say let's start with something a little bit more light. Let's
Yeah.
speak about like GTA 6 opened the whole phenomenon, the global
Hmm.
phenomenon. It seems right.
Yeah, I mean,
And
let's talk about the good news first. Yeah.
yeah, let's talk good controversial news. It's not exactly good,
Okay,
good. You
let's
know what I
let's talk
mean?
about the good part first.
Yeah. So recently, GTA 6, uh, Take Two actually announced that literally the next day, they opened like the pre-orders,
Hmm.
and everyone was like crazy. Even though we haven't seen the last trailer 3, I don't remember what number is it.
Hmm.
Like, so everyone was expecting a new trailer and to see like more gameplay and stuff. And I remember like I was at work, you sending me this picture that is, guys, that's a rumor. Probably someone took it out of his ass, probably. But that might be true because
Might
we
be
have
true.
some crazy evidence.
Yeah.
Like a person buys 500 ultimate copies and spending 50,000. So
54
in
actually.
yes, something like that, something like crazy. And
Yeah.
I remember Michael one day just like sent me a picture of after like probably 2 days after the announcement of the opening, the pre-orders,
Hmm.
that so far 39 million sales. Rockstar has 39 million sales.
Pre-orders. Yeah.
They in pre-ordering phase without even like anything else. What I mean? And which is completely unverified. I want to
Yeah.
clarify that, right? Because it's completely unverified. And they already made 3 billion, which is crazy if you think that the game is nearly 1 to 2 billion. It costs 100 to 2 billion, and they already make a profit, literally.
In advance, 6 months in advance, they made a profit,
Yeah.
and that's crazy, man.
Yeah.
That's absolutely bonkers. Like,
Yeah, man.
to make a
Without
profit.
even think about the online, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Without the
yeah.
online at the beginning. Like it's
Yeah, yeah. They
crazy.
just want to get in first. I don't know.
Yeah, dude, I don't know.
We have what, like 4 months? Is it? No, it's 5 months until release, and
Yeah.
they have already made almost like 1 billion in profit. Like, that's crazy. I
Yeah,
understand
imagine.
because GTA 6 is probably the most hyped video game in near memory. There
Yeah.
hasn't been anything at all close to that.
Nothing,
So it's
dude.
kind
Probably
of
Minecraft.
expected. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, but it's some way unexpected to sell out like hot popcorn. It
Yeah.
just it makes sense, but it was way too much, way too soon. I wasn't expecting that at all. I was like, oh, they're gonna make a profit on release day.
How much sales they had on GTA 5? Was it like 200 million? Which was
It's kind of vague. We there definitely is a number out there, but I think they're mixing it up with the free giveaways, like on the Epic Game
no,
Store.
they don't do it. They don't do
They
it.
don't do it.
I kind of like make a whole no research. I did a small research and they saying that every time that they sold copies, all these companies, how many copies they sold, they they include the discounted versions, obviously, but they
Hmm.
never include the free copies that they give to people.
Okay, that's crazy. Because I
Yeah.
I remember very vividly that GTA 5 was like in the
230 actually. I just searched it. 230 million copies worldwide.
God damn. GTA 5 was like in the top 5 video games that was online and still active until 2018.
Yeah.
That's crazy. 5 years after release to be in the top 5, bro.
And generating actually millions of dollars every
It's
week. Every week.
every week. Yeah, it had it had some micro transactions, like to get cash on
Yeah.
online, but and then you had 5M that came in with the role playing, and it boosted the life of the video game again. And it was crazy. It had a fantastic run,
And new content
legendary.
creators born.
I mean,
It
yeah.
became
How many?
viral.
How many YouTubers were created because the only thing they did was like GTA 5 content. Like
Yeah.
like that's
Yeah. It is
this
crazy.
was a massively successful video game,
And
and
that's why Rockstar acquired 5M, right?
yeah,
And
of
that's
course.
one of the biggest news that the new online probably will
I'm
have like this kind of
trust me when I say this. The role playing aspect of GTA 6 is going to go ham. It's going to be fire, especially
yeah,
for content creation. Are you
100%.
kidding?
Yeah,
Are you kidding?
100%. I mean, 39 million, like, if it's true,
Mhm.
39 million copies already, bro. That might be more because when you sent me it was like 2 days after
Yeah,
the
yeah,
announcement.
yeah. It's
So
definitely more.
I honestly think just before 2026 will finish, this game will have more than 100 million copies, which is
Yeah.
crazy. And when I
So,
when I actually corrected you earlier about Minecraft, I you could actually make it a real thing and say that GTA is the most actually sold game, AAA game ever.
mhm.
Because
Yeah.
Minecraft it wasn't a AAA game.
Yeah.
Roblox is a platform, so we cannot like put it in consideration as well.
Hmm.
But yeah, if you think about it, like is the most sold like AAA game, which is crazy, 230 million, bro.
The GTA 6 has more sales already than Game Pass has subscribers. I'm just gonna say that.
Oh my
I'm
god,
just
yeah.
gonna say that.
Let's
I'm just,
not let's not, please.
no,
Leave
why
that.
not? Why not? Okay.
Oh, bro.
Okay, I'm just
Yeah.
gonna lay off Xbox at the moment because we have other news. We have other news.
Yeah. The thing, let's talk about like the controversy around it, right? When they
Yeah.
actually speak about like the whole controversy is about GTA 6 will not release physical copies at the beginning.
Hmm. I think not
And
ever, right?
we don't know. They just said at the beginning
Oh,
they won't. And there is a lot of people around and they say just because they don't want to have leaks. But this thing, it doesn't make sense in my opinion, because Crimson Desert, they sold physical copies day one and way before people they got it from retailers and whatever. But Sony on PS, they locked the game. So
hmm,
they couldn't play the game until you will do the day one patch.
yeah.
So leaks and information leaking, I don't think that is the reason, because that is, I heard it a lot, right?
No, that's definitely not gonna be the case.
Yeah.
100%. This is not. This is. This is like the worst possible news we could have uh, in gaming in the past like 5 or I don't know 10 years, because we all know there has been a major push in the industry that they all want to go digital,
Yeah.
and they prefer to sell digital copies of a game because
Hmm.
digital copies of the game are licenses. When you buy
Yeah.
something digitally and you get a code online, that's a license. You don't actually own the game. You are allowed
Yeah.
to use the content for as long as the content is available on the platform.
100%.
The only thing that you we had as gamers to be sure that we own what we paid for was
Hmm.
physical copies. Physical copies.
Yeah,
And
but again,
Rockstar, yeah, go
yeah,
ahead, go ahead.
yeah, but again, like there is an argument around like how many people they bought Crew as a
Um,
physical, and they cannot, and they cannot like access it. Like as I said earlier, Crimson Desert sold the
mm,
pre-orders. They had like physical copies,
yeah,
and Sony wouldn't allow the people to jump in because they were locked behind a patch in order to play the game.
yeah.
So even though you had the game as physical, so you could
Hmm.
insert it in your PS, you couldn't play the game. So I saw a lot of controversy around like this video, because I think it came out from Gold, if I'm not quite sure, that he was saying about like that if the game is locked behind a software, even if you get it physically, you again have a license. If these people they can lock you out,
Yeah,
like they close the software, you won't be able to play the game.
yeah. But having a disk that has the data on it, even if by for some reason Sony or Xbox or whoever locks you out of the game, at least you have the data. And
Yeah.
maybe some the community, which the modding community is going very hard for decades now,
Hmm.
they you would still be able to
Go
be
to the
allowed
court.
to play
Yeah.
the game that you own again.
Yeah, and that's what
But
I'm saying about the physical. Like, and I
yeah,
don't agree. I don't agree with what he said. I don't know if he actually did it.
yeah.
As always, to get like the attention. But I don't agree with the thing that you don't own it when you have it like physical. I know that there is cases that they can do it, but when you
Mhm.
have it physical, you might have a case to go to the court if they will do it to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
If they will lock you out from your product, then you might have a small chance,
yeah.
to have a whole case to go against them.
Yeah.
and potentially a lawsuit. You know, what I mean, I don't know. I think there is a lot of stuff that when you have something physical, it gives you, how can I say, it gives you like the protection that, yeah. And
Yeah.
another,
I
yeah,
mean,
carry on.
I agree with you, but uh, from the moment we start talking about going to court
Yeah,
and filing a lawsuit, we've already lost. You know,
exactly.
it's you you have to access the content that you've paid for whenever you want.
Yeah,
Doesn't there is there shouldn't be anything to say against that from anyone. I bought the game. I
yeah,
want to play the game. I'm going to play the
exactly.
game.
Same with digital though.
Yeah,
Same with digital.
same with digital, but it's been the case for years now that the digital ownership is not ownership. Like, you get the license,
Yeah, yeah,
and
obviously.
for as long as Sony wishes, or when the contract with is up with whoever,
Hmm.
you're just gonna lose access. But if you have, at least the case was until very recently, that if you had the physical copy, you would be able to access the game you bought and paid for.
Yeah,
But now Rockstar is not going to ship a physical disc in the case that they're going to be selling physically. Like, you're going to get the regular box that every, game comes in. You're going to buy it
with a
physically from a
code.
store, and inside there's not going to be a disc. It's going to be a code that you would activate on PS Plus and, well, online store, or whatever. Like, we had one last, let's say, defense against this, but now that's going away, and I can tell you why it's going away,
Hmm.
because someone somewhere might defend this, like, oh, it's just Rockstar.
No, it's not
They're the
Rockstar,
first.
dude.
There's they're the first to do it, and yeah, that's my point exactly. Rockstar is the Apple of gaming, and we all know when Apple does something, the
Yeah,
whole industry follows
obviously.
along.
But
So
it's not about
no, it's not just Rockstar. It's not.
you talking about gaming studio, right?
Yeah.
Because we will link the whole conversation to go towards the. Do not speak about one studio, gaming studio.
Hmm.
Literally 3 days ago, 4 days ago, Sony came out and said that they kill physical ownership in 2028. Finish.
Finished.
Finish. And Sony, dude, Sony, that they have like all these access about Blu-ray, make CDs, whatever, If Sony does it, everyone else gonna do it. And there is already rumors that the new generation of Xbox, they won't have like physical either. Like, finish. We finish with physical.
Yeah.
But one thing that I want to say is, like, because I heard a lot of people that were saying, oh, we have, obviously, if you have 90% people buying digitally and they are not like buying copies, obviously they will cut it. But it's not like that. And people, they blame gamers that we bought like digitally, and they were saying, this is our fault. We make this happen. No, we didn't make this happen, because even 10% is a lot of people buying physical. And why you need to cut this audience, potentially people, they will even stop like playing games, which is extreme what I'm saying to you. Yeah, they will do it. I know a lot of people that they are collectors, and that's their life, I mean, collecting video
Yeah.
games, consoles, whatever. But now that they don't have any physical, they will stop playing video games. People, they will be
Yeah.
like, yeah, but it's extreme. For me
Doesn't
and you,
matter.
yeah. For me and you, yeah. But for other people, it's a big deal. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter, because me and you, we buying our games digitally. We have to force digital to everybody.
Yeah.
10% is a huge audience. You cannot do that, dude.
Yeah. They're
That's
just gonna do
pathetic.
it anyway because one is way more profitable.
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, let's be
Hundred
honest.
percent. You don't have to cut. You don't have to pay transport. You don't have to pay anything to the physical stores that
Yeah.
shelf your games and sell them. You don't have to pay anything to anybody. Everything is on your store, on the console there, like that. That's it. But at the same time, you're screwing over the totality of gamers. There's
Exactly.
not one gamer wants a license when they pay for a product. Not one. And that's, you know what? That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. Not one gamer when they pay 60, 70, 80, 85, 100, nobody wants a license. They want a product, and they want to keep the product as long as they want.
And
If
that's why
if
we
I
need
want a
regulations
product,
on
yeah,
digital as well.
yeah, of
The
course.
only store that does it is literally GOG. Nothing
Yeah,
else.
the thing is that they have their asses covered, because when you sign up for the PlayStation Store or Steam or the Nintendo eShop or the Xbox, in the user agreement,
Yeah, there is a huge,
there is a huge
like
bit.
so many lines that
There are
no
so many
one reads.
lines, no one reads. Yeah, and I know for a fact it's explicitly said that when you buy something on these stores, you get a
A license.
license.
Same goes with Steam.
Yeah, the Steam is no. Probably Steam was the first one.
But I will tell you something. Do you know what's the biggest difference about Steam? When you're actually playing a single player game that doesn't require like connection, and that's what you cannot do in these kind of platforms. Let's say after 1 year, if Valve decide that Steam's gonna close, you will go and download all your games, and you can take their folders and save them and save these
Hmm.
games in an external disk, and you have them forever.
Yeah,
Even though you need all this hassle to do,
yeah, yeah,
at
yeah.
least you have the option to do it, right? Like when you have like consoles they don't do this stuff. They cannot do this stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they will not do this stuff. Don't when we talk about like consoles and what they do with this kind of stuff, Nintendo comes to mind, and I and I'm fighting very hard to not talk about Nintendo today. It's crazy what Nintendo has done. It's crazy
Yeah,
what Nintendo, and Nintendo is probably the first one to make some decisions like. Did you know that the cartridges in the Nintendo Switch 2 doesn't have a game in it?
I heard about it to be honest with you, but I don't know how. You know, I mean, it's impossible to fit a game that it might be like 10, 15, 20 gigs in a cartridge. So in my
No,
mind,
it's
I was
not.
like,
It's not
is it
impossible. No, it's not
okay?
impossible. Imagine SD cards. Like SD cards are like 256 gigs. You can get a SD card huge like that.
Okay,
So the
okay, makes
cartridge.
sense then.
So when you buy a cartridge right now, you pop it in, and there's a digital code to redeem on
The
your
product, yeah.
console. It's just the same thing, but it's a you get at least a cartridge, but the cartridge itself doesn't have the game in it. You just still have to download it. That's
Yeah.
it's just Nintendo things. Like when we talk about Nintendo, that's just like Nintendo things. Anyway, uh,
Yeah, they
should we go back
it's not the
to?
problem. It's not the problem with them anyway. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah. I mean,
we
just
already
Nintendo.
know them. They do whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
We haven't had anything
Yeah.
about. It was a
Should we go back
completely
to?
unscheduled.
Should we go back to GTA news or?
Yeah,
Uh,
we before we'll go on the second like thing that they Sony announced.
mhm,
Let's go back to GTA because I want to speak about something that really
sure.
worries me, and I think you know already what I want to say. For the next decade, after GTA will launch, for the next decade, we will see again many studios, many publishers trying to catch Rockstar. Like
Yeah.
100%. Hopefully, they won't do it on the scale that Rockstar does it because I don't think that there is any other studio out there that they have free 1 billion, $1 to $2 billion for production, for game production. So hopefully they won't do it at that scale. But please, please, for the love of God, stop trying to become Rockstar. You cannot. Simple. Just try to find what is work for you, what is your strengths, what is your weakness, and make the game that you want to make. Do not try to copy or even to come close in your mind that you will become Rockstar. Please.
Yeah. They're gonna try. Yeah, there are gonna be attempts.
100% they will.
I just know that. Yeah, it's crazy, but Rockstar has all the resources, all the data, all the talent. Let's not forget about that. All the talent to make such huge productions, and those productions take years. They take
Yeah.
years, and you just cannot follow along. You just have to do your own thing. Just do your own thing. You don't have to copy or try to recreate anything that Rockstar did. Just do your thing. Something you love. Do you have to copy GTA 6? No, you don't. We have literally hundreds of games that have nothing to do with what GTA does and what it feels like, and they're still fantastic, extraordinary games. You don't have to follow along.
No, you don't. Definitely, but there is, I'm not saying that you're trying to make a city simulation or like a cowboy simulator life,
Hmm.
that Red Dead was. Like they have this illusion that they can deliver on the same level.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? That's
yeah.
what the problem is. That they will try to make open world, and as we can see in the last like few years, not every open world that we have on our hands works,
Hmm.
and they have a lot of like problems. GTA, Rockstar in general, they know how to make good open world games because they taking immersion very seriously, and they could make something really immersive because most of the times the thing that they do is that they make real life simulators.
Hmm.
So that's the whole point. You living in a very alive world. You know what I mean? GTA, you will live in Florida. This time they call it Leonida. Obviously, it's not Florida, but
Yeah.
you will feel that you are in the whole Florida state.
Hmm.
The same goes about like the cowboy life simulator. It still is the same. You know what I mean? Like you feel that you are there. We're not talking about like that they will make the best stories ever, because in my opinion, only the last GTA's. I cannot remember like a good GTA story, a very good story. And when I'm saying a very good story, I'm not saying like GTA 4 had a very good story, but
Hmm.
nothing comes close to RDR2
I mean,
level of,
yeah.
of writing. Nothing comes close.
I mean, yeah. But San Andreas has a fantastic story.
Vice City has a fantastic story as well.
Yeah. San Andreas, you get the hood feeling,
You get the yeah, but still
Yeah,
like a
but
cliche betrayal and stuff, which is
I mean
nothing wrong with that.
that's the whole franchise. Like,
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
think about it,
obvious. Yeah, definitely.
every game has that. I mean, at least as far as I can remember, three
I mean,
had that, four had that, five had that, San Andreas had that, Vice City
it,
had that. I don't know the spin-offs,
Red
but
Dead Redemption 1, I think, had that. Red Dead Redemption 2
sure,
had that. You know what I
yeah,
mean? With Micah. So
because
that's
because it's the most relatable thing, the
but
most relatable
m-
feeling.
my biggest the biggest difference that I have in my mind is like the way that they did it, the
I
the
mean,
way of quality, the writing quality that they had in Red Dead Redemption 2. There is no any other game that comes close. That's what I'm saying. So
mhm,
hopefully this GTA it will come close,
yeah,
because
hopefully,
in a way we need something satirical and funny and goofy and comedy, but you want something like serious as well. Like you want to see
yeah,
something that is has like a serious story. That's what I'm saying.
definitely, definitely. Um, let's let's move on to the other thing that GTA is going to do, and
Hmm.
I think it's the worst precedent that we have seen in the past, like, I don't know, like 15 years at least. So GTA 6 is going to launch at $80 US, but
Okay.
it's going to have a bunch of features locked. And to unlock them, you have to, I guess, either pay 20 extra bucks or just pay for the deluxe edition. That's $100 total. That's honestly, you if you pay $80 for this game, you do not get like the base game or whatever. You the base game costs $100 and you get a butchered cut down version for 80.
One thing that I haven't understood, right, with the whole thing
Yeah.
is you'll have a car mechanic trader that is locked behind
Hmm.
the ultimate edition. You'll have some tattoo artists, some tattoo shops actually. You'll have some clothing stores and stuff. So all these stores, because I need to understand it, right?
Hmm.
Would we have identical stores in the game, or like to get this content, we need to pay more? Because if you have, for example, listen what I'm trying to say,
Hmm.
that if you have, for example, 10 car mechanics already in the game,
Yeah.
10 or 15 tattoo artists, 20 clothing stores, to have some additional, that they will bring some additional like features, like car paint or like haircuts or whatever, you know what I mean, or different
Hmm.
tattoos, then it would have been like they give you cosmetics, but they are stores that you can get these cosmetics.
Sure. Okay.
But if you don't have any of those things in the main game, and you will get them with the Ultimate Edition, that's a clear gatekeep.
I mean, yeah, it is a gatekeep. I'm sorry to say. I regret to inform you that the $80 base game will not have on any of these stores. At least from what we can see right now, everything is going to be locked. You will be able to do your missions.
Okay.
You'll be able to beat the game essentially, but you're losing the overall experience of GTA as we know it. Like in GTA 5, like LS customs, like modifying your car is like it's not it's not necessary. It's not like a root mechanic of the game, but it's so much of the feeling and huge part of the game as it when it comes to the feeling of the game.
Yeah.
Like it's so huge, and having it locked and all of these other stuff, like you can't get a haircut. What the fuck?
Yeah.
All of these things are, a huge part of the content of GTA.
Yeah, because
We
in a very like quick search that I did, what I said is kind of like true, because there will be shops in the main
Yeah.
game. So they selling, instead of selling the cosmetics through the stores that they will be in the game on the base game, they just making new shops completely. So you will still have like shops, so it won't affect you too much, in my opinion. But
Okay.
still, it's a very like stupid practice, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, you are paying for a cut down version of the game if you get it for $80.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
base game, the base game, because base game means that everything is unlocked and accessible, except if we're talking about DLCs, which this is another conversation.
hmm
The base game has everything. So
yeah,
the base game is the ultimate edition.
yeah.
And that's just it. Like, and
Ho-
what I told you in the beginning is that Rockstar is the Apple of this industry.
Yeah. I
And
mean, they
if
already
they
do that. They already do that, Michael. They already do that. Sorry, man.
it's all right.
Kofto.
It's all right.
They already do that. You know what I mean? Like when you get the Ultimate Edition, you have like early access 7 days
Mhm.
in prior, which they do that already now. I think even GTA 6 will have it, right?
I'm
It
not
will be
sure.
available after 5 days before the release, whatever. I don't remember. You already have all this stuff. You already have like more like some of them they included battle passes in the Ultimate Edition. They
Yeah.
have cosmetics, they have all that. Like it's not like they will look up to them. But
I
I
mean,
think I think that what is really controversial is like the way that Rockstar did it, because making whole stores potential content for the game, right? Because it's not like go to this store and then you have like three locked outfits, and in these three locked outfits, you will unlock them if you buy the $100,
mhm.
you know, edition. We're talking about the
Yeah.
whole stores in the game that you actually walking in. If you have the base game, you might not be able to walk in.
Yeah.
You won't be able to walk in,
Yeah.
but no, you might, you won't, which is really stupid. Like, hopefully, they will revert this
Yeah,
because
hopefully,
there
because
is,
they've the backlash is
huge.
tragic. It's huge. Yeah, but all I'm saying is that Rockstar has the power by their influence. I mean, to set precedents, and
Set new
this is
standards. Yeah,
like to set, yeah, the standards, as you said. It's like this is the worst standard to, to be the first one to make such a decision. And
yeah,
this isn't just any company. Everybody is copying Rockstar one way or another, and you don't want any other company to copy this.
exactly. You want it to be, if they're like the gold level designers or studio on the in the industry, they need to actually give the good example rather than,
Yeah.
I don't know, brother. I don't know. It's really sketchy stuff. You know what I mean? It's really sketchy.
Yeah. That's like the as far as I know, that's the only thing that went wrong with, the announcements of Rockstar, apart from the physical and digital thing that they announced
Yeah.
that they're not gonna have physical copies. But that, in my opinion, those two are like very bad for the industry and for the future, because
Oh, also, one thing that we forgot to mention about Sony, right? Before we go to the last topic, um, they said that, as I said earlier, right, that they will stop producing physical in
Mhm.
2028. Why 2028? January 2028. Do you think that PS6 coming?
uh, it makes sense, right? Because PS5 came out in 2020.
Yeah, it's closer to
2020.
that. Yeah, 8 years. Yeah,
Yeah, so we are reaching like the uh
generation.
end of a generation. Like it seems highly likely that, I think, at the end of, possibly at the end of the holidays of 2027, we're gonna get a new console. I
Okay.
mean, at least in my eyes, I'm trying to understand this move, and they're saying that their next console is not gonna have a physical disc tray at all.
Yeah,
And then they're saying that, at the January of 2028, we're going to
that's what I'm
stop
thinking.
producing the physical copies.
Why you stop producing if this generation
Mm,
has
the
disc? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
the
we transition.
at the end of 2027, the PS5 is going to be like almost 8 years old.
Yeah, I don't think that we reach the limits of this console. I'm saying it out loud. I don't think so. Still,
Eh,
like I
Yeah,
think we could extend it. We could extend it, especially now that the hardware is crazy. The prices are
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. The they could extend it a little bit, at least a year,
Yeah,
because the games themselves, they do not have to be like the textures and the graphics do not need to be better. Like
yeah,
it's good. It's good to have like better graphics, like from year to year.
yeah.
But graphics already look like amazing. Have you seen the trailer from Wolverine? Have you seen
It's
trailers from
it's
the GTA
how
6?
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like if GTA, if PS5 Pro, whatever, can run very well, which I highly doubt it.
yeah.
Very well GTA 6, then we definitely have another 2 years, right?
I
We
mean, at
definitely
least
have another
one,
2 years. Yeah,
at least one. But you don't. Right now, with the state that we're in, with the hardware prices, have you seen RAM? They're saying that
yeah, yeah.
we're gonna get a 40% hike on prices for RAM. What?
We have two more increases. That's what they were saying. Two more
Two
increases
more
in
increases?
price
What?
in until 2026. Like in 2026. Sorry.
That's
Like
crazy.
imagine, bro. That's what I'm thinking to get another 32. That's why I told you that. I need another 32 gigs for just for me, for the next like 10 years to be fine. Like,
I don't. I don't think you're gonna be fine. I
do
don't
you
think you're
think
gonna be
so?
fine. Yeah, I do think so. Every 10 years there is a massive leap in
Five.
technology. So
Five. Let's go five then.
okay, five possibly, yeah, but 10 years is highly unlikely. Do
Do
you
you think
remember?
that games they will require you more than 64 gigs?
No, not games. I mean, in 10 years, yeah,
In 10
100%.
years, you think so? Because we
Uh,
barely reached 24 gigs right now. That's why.
uh, Listen, now we have 2026. Okay, just remember yourself 10 years ago. How much RAM do you have?
I think 16 gigs I had, and I was fine.
16 gigs 10 years ago was not low end.
No, it was not. It wasn't, yeah.
Yeah, and now we see PCs with like 128. Like
Yeah.
16 back then was not low end, but by any stretch of the imagination. Like
Yeah,
twenty
definitely.
sixteen,
Yeah.
it's it's crazy. I had like 16 gigs as well, but that was balling. it was it
That was a
was
lot, yeah.
yeah, it was a lot, but right now it's not really. Anyway,
I see your point, yeah. Anyway, let's
anyway,
go. Let's move on to the last one because the last one is really. Unless you want to say something
no, I'm
else.
good.
Okay. So let's move to the last one that it was completely crazy, right? Sony
We also know when that is good when you start off laughing.
PlayStation came out lately
Yep.
and said that they still believe and have faith and they keep want to invest in live service games.
Can I? Is it okay on YouTube if I throw up on camera?
I don't know. It might be gory or something. I don't know.
Man.
I don't know, brother. Like, how? What is the reason behind this decision? Like, how they have faith after so many failures? You know what I mean? And I will not gonna say as. Let me just clear this something up. I won't say something about like PS only because other companies that try to go live service.
Mhm.
Recently, I watched an amazing video that guys you should go and watch it. It was from Legendary Drops. This guy just break down amazingly how live service games 90% or like something like crazy, like 80% or 90%, they failing to keep up.
Yeah.
So it's not like something that let's say it's only about like PS or like Xbox or whatever. Like the whole industry needs to listen now. of what we're gonna say, right?
Yeah.
Our conversation and everyone's conversation around like the industry.
Yeah.
Because I think the main problem is not you trying to make a live service. Live service games are not dead. They are not dead.
Yeah.
Like if people they will have this thing in mind and they feel fed up because of live service games like everywhere, they need to understand that live service games are not dead. And even like these 10-20% that they're still alive is because these ones they know how to make, they have the recipe to make a good live service games.
Yeah.
All the problem with industry is like they don't understand, they haven't understood, they misunderstood actually how is what it needs to be done to make an amazing like live service game.
Yeah. 110 and
That
110%.
that's what I'm thinking. So give me, but let's talk about like specifically with PlayStation because PlayStation like did that, and then later if we'll have time we'll speak about like other stuff.
I don't know. I don't think Sony knows how to make a live service game like successful for a long period of time. Like a live service game, if you're going to make a live service game, these games are constant money makers. If they're done correctly. In my mind, PlayStation is really good at making a game that they sell to a consumer once, and that's it. But you cannot make a live service game the same way.
Yeah,
Like, let's just say that, let's say, The Last of Us 2, okay? An amazing game, fantastic story, it had its controversies, don't get me wrong, but it was a great game in my opinion. But this kind of game is, let's say, one and done.
yeah,
You make it and you sell it. Maybe you do some patches, some glitches, bugs, and everything. Maybe sell a DLC somewhere
expansions.
down the
Yeah,
line. But this is not the way to make a live service game. And if you're really good at something, it doesn't mean that you can make something else with the same way. The recipe is different. The way is different. And if you don't know the way, maybe you shouldn't do that.
first of all you need to have the experience as you're saying right now.
Yeah,
They
of
lack
course.
the experience to do that, and in order to do that you need to make a lot of research before you actually plan to make something.
Yeah, of
Like
course.
build like a section, a team that they will focus like Blue Point before they shut it down. That's what crazy. That's what is really crazy. Blue Point, they were just about to make a new fucking live service a game. You know what I mean? And they were
Yeah.
really good, like making remakes and making other games. How you would make I don't know. I'm losing my mind. How you would make like a studio that doesn't have zero experience how to make a live service game, force them to make a live service game?
In- I wanna say that Blue Point as a studio, ever since it was acquired by Sony, might seem like a hot take, might seem like harsh, but I think Blue Point was Sony's lackeys. You know, Sony wanted something done, and they just tossed a bone to Blue Point and went like, make this for me.
Yeah.
I'm that's like that's what I think. That's what I you do. You ever get like this gut feeling that cannot shake? Sometimes, like I get this feeling and this unshakable feeling. Like that's what Blue Point was to Sony. Like
Yeah.
it was, I need a remake from Demon Souls. Go ahead, make that. Yeah,
Yeah.
when I did it, okay, now I need to make another game. I need a live service game.
But
Okay.
they could just do that. That's what I'm saying. Like exactly what you're saying, right? You have one of the largest libraries in the world. You know what I mean? in
Mhm.
PS2, PS1, so many years, right? Just give them more games to remake it. You don't need research. You don't need to do a research about the IP. You already got the IP. These
Yeah,
people, they will make. They don't need to do a research what the theme from the game will be.
yeah,
What the protagonist, what everything. They have it.
they have
The
it.
only
Yeah.
thing that they need to do is like to work and refine and make it a remake. You know what I mean? So they could print you money.
Nope.
But
Shut
why
it.
you were
Shut it down.
saying, but shut it down. But before you shut it down for 1 or 2 years, these people they were making a live service game with little to no experience. And I'm saying
Maybe
little to
they
no experience because they might hire someone to lead the project that they might know. But
maybe they were bleeding money and they weren't going anywhere because they lacked the experience, as we said like previously. And Sony was like, okay, this is not working out. Studio closed. I don't know. Maybe, but it doesn't make sense to assign a studio with a game that they have no experience to make and then just be like, oh, this is not working out. Like, pull a plug. It's
I don't know.
tragic. It's moronic.
And then you have like cases like Concord, like paying 200 or 300 million Marathon, 200 million for an extraction shooter. That, in my opinion, I'm gonna say it, dude. Right? I played Micro. I'm playing currently on Marathon. Marathon is great game. I'm not kidding,
Yeah.
but it's not the way that they treat this game. It was wrong, and in my opinion, like 200 million for this game is money laundering.
Mm-hmm.
Like if this game had 60 million, if they would spend 60 or 70 million, that would have been perfect. And give them the attention of like, this is Destiny 2, or like this will be Destiny 3. And here, our side project, passion project, is Marathon.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It could be more successful, 100%. But this is our main focus.
Yeah.
Here is our main focus. How to make Destiny 3 is our main focus. And this is a side project that will have like 50 to 100 people working on this project, spend 50, 60 million, and it would have been successful. Trust me. Because
Yeah.
they have a good recipe. And coming from someone that don't like hero shooters, dude, like, it works. I cannot stress this enough. It works and it's really good. Amazing gunplay, engaging fights, amazing game. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
kidding right now. But they butcher this for how high they set the expectations. On top of that, the decisions to stop Destiny create all this hate to Marathon. On top of that, a niche genre. On top of that, a niche unique art style. These things, they
Yeah.
don't help for you for your game to
Yeah.
sell.
And with the money they've spent for this game, like that, everything you mentioned doesn't help at all. Like,
Yeah.
it's very hard to keep up with the game that
Did
you
you
have to
know what
spend.
is the biggest problem in live service? They try to make a game for everyone. How we will focus to make a game to please everyone. And
Mm-hmm.
that's the biggest problem. A game for everyone is game for no one.
Yeah.
Everyone says that. You need to have identity. And one of the biggest, the other big problem that they have is like, how we will keep me, Michael, to play to get forever. How we will keep the player numbers inside the game, into the
Mm-hmm.
game forever, to live there. And
Yeah.
that's why they're creating all these FOMO fucking systems. You know what I mean?
I know.
We need to actually understand these people, they're losing the picture, right? They need to understand, they need to get the masters of live service, which is Path of Exile, Grind Gear Games. Path of Exile 2, they make an amazing season 2, new season, new league, as they call them, on Path of Exile. Dude, they gave so much content that other companies, all this content, they don't even have it on release day one. and after like 10 patches.
Yeah.
The amount of work that they gave on the last league is crazy. They reached again 450,000 people on Steam concurrent playing. You know what I mean? Like everyone was talking about PoE 2 for a week or two. But do you know what's the difference with Grand Gear games? They are just totally fine if you will leave the game and go play something else, because they know that. They know that this is not the only game in the world at the moment.
Yeah.
They know that in your library you have 200, 300, 500 games, and the next week you will have another 2 games that they will release that you might be exciting to play.
Mm-hmm.
Just come in, play 1 week, 2 weeks. You know what? I want to play something different. I'm gonna join on the next league, or like I'm gonna
Yeah.
join mid league at the end of a league. Nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Why we need to keep players inside all the time, like creating battle passes, missions, dailies, all this stuff, like to keep them in prison
Yeah.
in one game and not like let them have fun.
Just, testosterone,
But
It's,
it's not about that, dude. It's not about. It's about like stupidity, in my opinion. That's
yeah, I mean,
clear stupidity.
yeah, I mean, they want to get your dopamine levels like very high to just keep playing and paying them huge amounts of money over the years. And
Yeah,
that might work for some people, but it doesn't mean like every game has to be like that. Do you remember
yeah.
when they made like what was it, the Batman game, like the spin-off, well, Arkham
Arkham
Knights.
Knight, something
uh,
like that. Yeah,
Jesus, man, what the fuck did that game
yeah.
need to be live
Total,
service?
I totally agree with you on that. Like, not every game has to do it, not every IP. But
Yeah.
the question that we need to actually focus in these companies, they need to focus on one thing. Why do people love this game? Or why people they will love this game?
Yeah.
Instead of like, how do we keep players online forever? That's the biggest problem that they have right now.
Yeah.
When they
I
need
totally agree.
and you need to have an audience when you play. So, by the way, sorry that I'm talking a lot in this section, but I played a lot of live service games, and Michael is more like a single player focused Chad type of guy, you know what I mean? Which is a peaceful life, don't get me wrong. He loves it. And I love it as well, but I played a lot of live service and I know how. I know. Nobody knows completely, but at least I have a picture how they could be better.
Hmm.
So what I'm trying to say is like, find the audience. There is nothing wrong to build a niche game around 10, 20, 30,000, even 5,000 concurrent players and say, this is my core audience. You know what I mean? If we will
Yeah.
skyrocket in on day one, or like after 1 week, after 20 days, this is my core audience. These people, when we'll have like the lows, because every game in the world has lows, every game, especially this live service. And the biggest example, Arc Raiders. Arc Raiders, it was like 500 or 600 concurrent players on PC without counting like PS and Xbox, right?
Yeah.
Massive audience. But they
Massive.
lost 90% after 6 months. I mean, there is a lot of problems that happen between, but that's a different question. That's different like discussion. But it's an extraction shooter. Obviously, we'll lose like six. It will lose like all this audience. You know what I mean?
That doesn't really matter what game it is or
Yeah,
how good it is. The people are going to get bored. Yeah, like
exactly.
you cannot just expect like people to be interested all the time.
Yeah,
People are going to
this is
get
no
bored and they're
lifers,
going to move
dude.
on.
This is no
Yeah.
lifers. You telling me you have all these no lifers that they like pushing, rushing, whatever, like crazy, playing PvP, playing PvE, whatever. But they farming their asses off, and then after like 1 month, 5 months, they will be like, "Oh, there's no content in the game, and it's so boring." Really, it's so boring. How many hours that you played? More than 1,000. Oh, yeah. So you're telling me you did an activity for 1,000 hours? You played a game for 1,000 hours and you find it boring? I'm surprised, dude. How? Why are you finding boring?
Yeah. You basically worked in a video game, and it's boring. Okay.
I don't know, dude. I don't get it. But that's how it's supposed to be. You will have these lows. In
Yeah, of
these
course.
lows, you need to actually focus of what is the real problems. Build the next big update so you can bring more people in. But do not ever strive how this number will go back to 600 to 1 million. Make the content for your audience. Your base
Yeah,
has to be, I need these 60,000 people to keep playing the game. You know what I mean? And if I will release something good, new people that will come in.
yeah,
But this is my core audience. I have a niche audience. That's where I need to focus.
yeah, yeah. Even if you have like 60,000, 50,000, no matter what, if you make good content for these players, these 50, if it's amazing, if you love it, if you put your soul into it, more people will come in. You don't have to think about, oh, what do we need to do to bring in more players?
Yeah,
Just make some good content. Like, don't think about it. Most of the games that are released and they're great, the developers were not thinking about the numbers at all. They just made good games, and that's it. That's what is going to drive new players, or is going to
yeah,
bring back old players, or it's going to keep the current player base inside of
happy.
the game, and that's it. With gamers are not complex creatures, man. Like
No, they're not, dude. And
we are
honestly,
we are so one dimensional. Like there
yeah,
are multiple, like some players want shooters, some people like live service game like Fortnite, some people like single player games. But when you pick a niche, they are one-sided, and you just have to understand that
yeah.
one-sided, let's say, culture.
That's
And
why I
it's
said at
not
the beginning of the episode, like everyone watching, like PUBG, Fortnite, Counter Strike, Valorant make billions, and they will be like, "Yeah, why don't we?"
yeah,
Do not try to make a game that is not out there.
yeah,
Try to make something niche, and that's what the niche games and these niche experiences they have long term to be played almost forever. Because when
hmm,
you make a niche game for a very niche audience, hardcore audience or whatever, you will never gonna reach like 1 million players. So you don't need like to spend 100 million to make a game
yeah,
day one. You know,
yeah,
you will make a small scale game and slowly build up in order to become a good game and successful game in the end. But you don't see what I'm trying to say is like do not focus on players only. You cannot be like, oh, I had like 300,000 people playing the game last week. My player count is going down. Player count going down is not always a failure. Just
yeah,
try to take this thing and say, these people they play 1 month, they had fun with my game, they love my game, but it's fine to go to a different game to play another game. You know what I mean? But how? That's the real question that you need to ask in these like conference rooms. How do we make them excited to come back? What we need to do,
yeah,
because that's what I'm saying. Path of Exile knows that. They know that you will leave. 500,000 people they will leave. But when the new league gonna start, you will come back.
yeah,
Even for 2 weeks, 1 month, you will come back, bro. 100%. And
hmm,
every cosmetic that they will sell you, you will buy them. Because you know that this studio works way too hard and they deserve every penny from your pocket.
yeah, yeah. You're right. You're right. I have nothing to add. Yeah, that's 100% right. Do you want? I don't have anything else to talk about. I don't think we have. Do you want to talk about something else?
No, I think that's a thing. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's all. I think we don't have anything to say. We were
Yeah.
hoping, that we will speak about layoffs.
What did he say?
Not
Yeah.
hoping, but we were
Yeah.
thinking that we
I
will
get
buy.
what I'm just saying.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
we were
kind of, it's kind of
thinking.
it's kind of mad to, to
Yeah,
phrase it
yeah.
like that.
No, no, yeah, yeah. It's kind of like we were thinking that we'll have like slaughter. We need to
Yeah.
face
Yeah.
a slaughter on the next episode, but so far we have scary chickens
Yeah.
that they won't come out to say we get rid of like 10,000 people.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Not yet.
Hopefully next week or the day after, the week after, we are finally gonna have some good news. Like, man,
Good news.
these past. I mean, don't jinx it, okay? Don't jinx it. But these
Don't
past three
jinx it.
episodes,
I am the jinx. I am the jinx for real.
don't jinx it. I mean, don't say bad things.
The whole industry is in shambles right now, but I am the jinx.
I mean, you're not, but you get what I'm trying to say, man.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
don't jinx it, okay?
Michael and his superstitions.
I'm not superstitious, man. I'm just saying. Anyway, thank you so very much for watching another episode of the Gamelitical Correct podcast. We have been your hosts. We hope to see you again next week for another episode, hopefully with some, let's say, more amusing, some more enthusiastic news. Hopefully. So if you enjoy this content, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, leave a like. We would like to see some of your comments down below to have a conversations with our community. It would be fantastic to talk about these topics with you guys. So again, thank you very much for watching. We will see you,
Thank you, guys.
next time. Thank you.
Peace.
Peace.